Alright everyone, I'm back. It's been a little over half an hour, and I'm going to try and get this out of the mold. And we'll see if, well, I know the mold's going to be destroyed, but we'll see if the form lasts. So I'm scared, but let's find out. Most of this is going to be in tape and paper, so it can be easy to pull this stuff off. For the most part. Yeah. So that stayed pretty nicely. And actually, the tape is pulling off pretty easily. So that's good too. Sweet. Alright. Let's try this side. So that came out. Alright, yeah, the mold is definitely going to be destroyed. Well, it is what it is, I suppose. I don't want to rip that up too much. Need to kind of destruct this the opposite way that I constructed it, to have as minimal damage as possible. Okay, that came off. That came off. They're coming off nicely. Alright. Alright, this is releasing fairly decently. Alright, this is going to be the hard part though. Because the rest of this is all the actual paper mold. So yeah, it's going to all have to pull off. Unfortunately. But I don't think it's going to be a problem. This is... yeah, this is really solid. Yeah, this is really solid. I'm quite happy with this. Okay. This needs to come off. If it can. You can see all the different layers of tape I put on here to keep the mold as solid as I possibly could. It's backfiring a little bit, but not too much. Alright, that's going to be a problem. I'm going to need this here. How am I going to do this one? Oops. How am I going to do this one? This. This is all tape under here. So in theory, that should release simply as soon as I get the tape off. Yeah, alright, there's a little bit of bondo right over here. It's being a pain in the butt. There it goes. Yeah, there it goes. Hey, excellent. Now the rest of this is just peeling off all the paper. which is not savable at this point, I'm sad to say. But we have fairly decent representation of it in bondo, so it doesn't matter. As long as they don't destroy it while pulling everything off. Okay. All this stuff can be trashed. It worked. Still quite a bit of pruning that needs to be done. And cleanup work. But all in all, this was a success. I'm very happy with it. And as you see, I use blue painter's tape, which actually seems to have a little bit of a plastic coating on it, which is making it easier to pull it off the bondo than I initially expected. And no, I didn't use any kind of release or anything, which I probably should have, but that was my mistake, and I'll remember for next time. So yeah, I've got a ramp mold, or at least the start of one. So yeah, it's gonna be upside down like this, and it has an in cut here. I know it has that in cut, but I'm also thinking, nope, I can't do that. I don't think this in cut's gonna be a problem. This is the only in cut. Everything else is gonna pull out that way. That trash is too far away. This is a slow process. I don't want to use mineral spirits or naphtha or anything to get this stuff off because that might disturb the bondo. I don't really know. And if I was smart, I would have done a test of that beforehand. But I'm not smart, so I didn't do a test. But again, that's okay. This doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be very good. I'm not expecting perfection for my first time. And this will also hopefully show you guys some oopsies to watch out for as well. Come on. Come on, tape. My hands are very sticky. The bondo is still a little sticky, and the tape, of course, is sticky. Sticky all around. And the paper is sticky because of the bondo and the tape. Some of this tape I might not be able to get off at all. Which may be less desirable than I want it to be, but it is what it is. Come on. And it's sticky because the tape is actually facing up. The sticky part of the tape is facing up because it was taped to the paper, and now the paper is gone, and this is the sticky part. That part's going to be a pain. And that part's going to be a pain. Alright, so here's the top of the mold. Here's the bottom. This is the side that's going to be formed. I'm going to need to get some tools to get inside of there. Not you. You. And you. A couple needle nose pliers. That way I can get inside of here and kind of pull. Yeah, it worked better. This is actually easier on my fingers as well. I'm not sticking my fingers in that sticky tape gunk. I can get to deeper sections down in there. It's not perfectly smooth by any stretch of the imagination, but I can use more bondo to smoothen it out. So I'm not worried about that. Fill in all the little holes, like these little holes here. And I'm not going to do any of that until tomorrow. So it's 11 something now. And I have things to do tomorrow morning. Unfortunately, other than this. So can I pull that out? Maybe. Possibly not. Oh, that's actually under the bondo. Okay. Come on. And next time I'll put like vegetable oil or something on there to help this mold release, or help the next mold release more easily. I did read about that, but I didn't do it. It was partly impatience on my part, which now I'm paying for it in this cleanup time. But also I wanted to kind of experience this myself and understand some things. Oh, come on. Still a lot of tape inside of here. I really need to get out. Somehow. Come on, get off me. Now, the good part is, once I make this mold, which is still going to take a lot more time, mind you, and I'm going to try and record all of the progress to do this. Once I make the mold, I won't have to make it again. It'll be one and done. How is that? Oh. Oh. Okay. That's definitely going to need to get filled in. That is undesirable right there. There's a little bit of a hole in here. That's going to need to be smoothed out for sure, I think. Actually, can I do that, or is that going to change? No, that's going to change the contour of this thing. I can't do that. I'm going to have to play with it a bit. So this is my end cut here, but as long as it's shallower inside of here, I think I'll still be able to get this out. And it's going to take a little bit of manipulation to get that to work. Because right now it's not going to be. Oh, come on. Get off of there. See if I can use this to pick up some of this stuff. Come on. Wow, that's in there. That's in there good. I might need to poke a hole in this and fix it later. Just so I can get all this tape out. This tape is being a thing. More so than it should be. Can't get my fat fingers in there. What about these pliers? Oh, same problem. It's just ripping the tape. Yeah, it's just ripping the tape. There we go, that's kind of working. Yeah, it kind of worked. There we go. That's pretty clean. That's pretty tape free in there now. Yeah, I'll be able to smooth that a bit. Somehow. I'll figure it out. There's a big piece of paper that needs to come off. this under here. This section is going to need to be sanded and trimmed. I'll probably Dremel this off to smooth it. That'll be easier. Yes, Dremeling a bunch of this off will definitely get. We'll definitely clean this up. Putting some more bondo in, and then also hand sanding some of this. I don't know if it shows up in the video well, but there's lots of like tape shapes in here and paper shapes, because I use paper and tape obviously, and that's just gonna have to all get smoothed out over time. And it's very, very possible to do. It'll just take elbow grease. Come on. Because some of these, like this along here, I might not even have to try and pull off. Because this over here, it all has to be smoothed out with a little bit more bondo and some sanding. So all that blue is going to go away. And at the end of the day, I'm also going to spray paint this and use a clear coat on this to help kind of seal it, since bondo is a little porous and I don't really want a porous material for thermoforming per se. I know it works, but I personally rather not have that. Section is going to need to be connected. But a lot of this finishing work can happen when this is upside down like this, because this is how it's going to get pulled. Yeah, so some of this is I might need to cut a bunch of this out, section out, because I don't know if you can see that, but there's folds in there that'll be very difficult to work with. And it might just be easier, rather than trying to get a chisel or a Dremel or something in there, risking, yeah, that's a pain in the butt, and risk the rest of the mold, because as I'm wiggling this, I'm kind of digging along there, so that's no good. So I may just pull all that stuff out if I need to. I could potentially smooth that, probably. I might be able to just smooth that. I don't know. It's going to be a learning process. Alright, I'm getting a little tired. This is probably all I'm going to do right now. And I'll continue it again tomorrow. Or in a few days. Depends on when I have time and how exhausted I am. But I think this is a good first step. What do y'all think? Yes? Yay, nay? Yeah, I think this is a good first step. Alright. See you guys again sometime in the future.